how to get the correct variation for your items and enter them into SkuGrid. And this is very important because what happens with supplier sites, even a site like Home Depot, is that sometimes the variation that you see on the page is not actually the way that the variation is to be stored. So I'm going to go through a quick process here and show you what I mean. So let's say you have this product. This is the product on Amazon, and I have a spreadsheet that I'm using to store the product. So I'm going to paste this in here, the ASIN. And now I want to get the supplier source, and I'm going to put that in as well. Now here's the thing, the variation. Now looking at this, it comes in a 3-pack, a 12-pack, or a 6-pack. And as you can see, depending on the one you click on, it just gives you that number, 12, 3, or 6. So this is a 3-pack in this case. And so if you were selling this, you might think it would be okay to enter the variation into SkuGrid as the number 3. But actually that would not work. And let me show you why. Always use SkuGrid to determine the variation. So you're going to go, so when you're in SkuGrid, you go to My Items and you click Add Single Item. You then go to the product, you get the link, and put the link where it says supplier link. Now right now I'm not actually adding the item to SkuGrid, I'm just getting the variation. So now I'm going to click Fetch Variation List. Alright, and this gives me the variation. Now I have to click Apply in order to get it into this box, so that once I do that I can highlight it. So, but the thing I want to point out here is look at how the variations come up. Rather than the number 3, 6, and 12, you can clearly see 3, daylight, 60 watts, E12. So it's giving you all kinds of other information in the variation besides the pack itself. And that is just the way that Home Depot has the variation stored. So now I'm going to copy that variation and put that here. That is the proper variation. This is what will be read by SkuGrid. Number of units per ASIN, it's just 1 unit per ASIN, which is the norm. Okay, so if you were going to upload this product to SkuGrid, or a bunch of products with variations in bulk, that's how you would need to do it. If those products have variations, you need to, and I know it slows down the process, but unfortunately this is just how it is. It's not actually a SkuGrid issue. It's an issue with how the variation is being stored at the supplier. It's different from what you actually see in front of you. So you need to take that extra step of using Add Single Item, scan the item with SkuGrid, and use Fetch Variation List to actually see what the exact variation is. Now, once you do that for a series of products, I just did one product because I think it only takes one to see what I mean. Then you perhaps, for instance, might be using my dropshipping Excel system. You can then put the information in here as well. Okay, the variation. This sheet, by the way, this is more of a product research sheet. So this is something that I use when I'm just collecting products. I'm not even sure if I'm going to sell these products yet. I'm just collecting products. Okay, so this is a product research template. But this is an actual system to store your actual database of products that you're going to sell. If you decide to sell the product, you would then have to put that here. And again, you'd have to you would want to put that proper variation under variation. Okay, and then another system I have, and I have videos on these individual systems, which is why I'm not really explaining them in this video. I have other videos on them. This is a system that allows you to upload your products to SkuGrid in bulk, and it does that by allowing you to enter certain information in here. It then generates a formula for you based on the desired ROI that you want to earn, and it generates for you the CSV file. Okay, this is the CSV file that you have to upload to SkuGrid. Okay, but it will be up to you to then highlight just the section of the CSV that you're going to use. Right, if it's 100 products, whatever it is, okay, you're going to stop there, and then you copy and paste it to a separate CSV file and you upload that into SkuGrid. I showed that in more detail in the video, in the original video of the system. Okay, but I think this is useful. But the thing is, before you do that, you need to make sure the variations are correct. Okay, the variations have to be correct, and the only way you know if they're really correct is if you do what I just did here, add single item, put the link, click Fetch Variation List and actually see, because you see how different the variation can come out. And the reason is that you have to understand that a computer program reading a web page is not like you as a human being. As a human being, you're using your sight and you see this number 3 and you feel like that's the variation. That is not how the computer works. The computer program works. The computer program has to go into the actual code of the page in order to read the page. Okay, in order to scrape the data, it has to go into the actual code, not what you see, but the actual code behind that, the XML or the HTML or whatever's behind it, or possibly through what's called an API connection, which is a direct connection to that particular supplier's database. So however the program works, it's not getting the data by looking at the screen like you are. So just looking at the screen for variations is not good enough. Alright, but that's pretty much it. That was my main point of this video, just to make sure that you are getting your correct variations and entering those variations on your items using SkuGrid, so that SkuGrid will be able to read those items and you won't end up with false out of stocks or any other issues with the program. This is Mr. Mark, Excel for Amazon Dropshipping, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can always leave them below as usual, and check this video if there are any links for anything that you haven't downloaded as yet.